Hello guys, welcome back to another Android material design tutorial. In the previous video, we already learned about how to implement a recycler view. In this episode, we are going to create another advanced example for a recycler view. So we are going to create a layout similar to this one. So this layout contains a recycler view in which each row contains three view components: an image view and two text view. So now we are going to create a layout similar to this one. Start a new Android Studio project, and here I am going to name it as Recycler View Demo. Click next and select an empty activity. Click next and click finish. Okay, now the project is created. So the first thing we have to add the needed resources into the project. We have to add some images, we have to add some film names, and we have to add corresponding director names. So here we have some image resources. First, here I am going to copy all these image resources and put it inside the drawable folder. Expand the resource folder and paste it inside the drawable folder. Paste it here. Okay, now all these image resources are available inside the drawable folder. Now we have to add the film names and corresponding director names. Okay, now open up the values folder and open up the strings.xml file. Here I add two string array. First string array is with the name film names, and second string array with the name director names, and here I add all the film names and corresponding director names. Okay, so now we add all the needed resources. So here we are going to use some recycler view. The recycler view is the part of Android V7 support library. So you have to add some dependencies inside the gradle file. So we have to open gradle script and open up the build.gradle file. Here you need to add some dependencies. Here I copy this one and put it here. Now you need to rename this one. Instead of app compact, you have to rename this one as a recycler view. Okay, so here we made some changes inside the gradle script file. So you have to make some sync operation. So make a sync operation. Okay, now the sync operations finishes successfully. Also the build is success. Now we have to create a separate layout file for the row. So open up the layout folder, right click the layout folder and create a new layout resource file. Here I am going to name it as item layout, and here the root element is a linear layout. I change that one into a relative layout and click OK. Now the file is created, and here we have to add the view elements for each row of the recycler view. So go to the XML file. Okay, first here I am going to change the layout height of this layout. I change the height into 105 dp. That is enough for each row. Okay, so first we have to add an image view. So add an image view here. Now we have to specify the layout for the image view. Android layout height. Here I am going to specify the height as 100 dp. Now specify the width for the image view. Android layout width. Here I am going to specify the width as 80 dp. Okay. Now we have to specify some ID for this image view. Android ID plus ID. I name it as poster simply img. Okay, now make some alignment. Android align parent left into true. Now specify some padding. Android padding, specify the padding as 4 dB and specify some margin at the left. Android margin left, layout margin left into 10 dB. Okay, to test this image view, simply assign some image. Android Android src equal to from drawable select an image from the drawable folder. At drawable, simply select some image. Okay, now here you can see the image is available on the preview window. Okay, so now we have to add another text view to display the film names. So add a text view. Now specify the layout. Android layout width, specify the width as 170 dp. Now specify the height. Android layout height into 100 dp. Okay, now specify some text. Android text, some name, film name. Okay, now specify the alignment. Android align to right of, layout to right of plus id. We have to align this one to the right side of the image view. So the id of the image view is img. Okay, now the text view is aligned to the right side of the image view. Now we have to specify some gravity. Android gravity into center. So this will align the text to the center of the text view. Now we have to specify some text size. Android text size into 50 dp and specify some style for the text. Android text style into bold. Okay, and we need some id for this text view. We have to specify some id. Android id plus id, name it as f name, film name. Okay, so now we need another text view to the right side of the text view. So copy this one and paste it here. Layout width is into 170, height into 100. Here I am going to change this width into something 400 dp. We need some larger text view for here. And to right of f name. And here we have to change the id of this newly created text view. I change that one into d name. Okay, so here we have one row of data is now available. We have an image view and two text view. First text view is to display the film name. Second text view to display the corresponding director name. Okay, now we need some underline for this one. Here on this layout, here there is underline for each of the row. So we have to add some horizontal line. So add a view element here. Okay, now we have to specify the layout for the view. Android layout width into, specify the width as match parent, specify some height. Android layout height, I specify the height as 1 dp. Now we have to specify some background color. Android background, and select some color from the color attribute, color resource file. Here I am going to select the primary color of the application. Okay, Now we have to specify the alignment for this view item. Android align Android layout below plus ID, and here I'm going to align this one below any of this view item. So here I'm going to align this one below D name. Okay, now here you can see a line is available, and add one more attribute, Android align parent bottom into true. Okay, so here we have a line is available at the bottom of the each row, and we have to make some margin. Android layout margin bottom, margin top, specify some margin. I specify it as 2 dp. Okay, now we finish the coding on the layout. Change this one into 3 dp. Yeah, that is enough, that is better. Okay, so now we have the row layout is available. Now we have to create separate adapter. Before that, we have to add a recycler view into the activity main.xml. So I remove this one. Here I am going to add a recycler view, android.support.v7 with get recycler view. Use this one. Specify the width as match parent and height as wrap content. Now specify an ID for this recycler view, Android ID plus ID, name it as recycler view. Okay, now we have to create another Java class for the data that is act as a data provider. So go to the package, expand the package, right click the package name and create a new Java class. Name it as data provider. Click OK. And here we have to define some variables. Create some private variables. Private int img resources. Now we need some string value. Private string fname and dname, director name. Okay, now we have to add getter and setter method for all these three variables. So add getter and setter methods, select getter and setter methods and select all these variables and click OK. Now here Android Studio add all the getter and setter methods for all these three variables. Now here we need some constructor for this class. Here I am going to add some constructor, public data provider with some arguments. First one is an image resource ID, name it as img res. Second one is fname, say string value, string fname. Third one is also a string, that is dname. Okay, now here I am going to call the setter methods. So this dot set img res and pass the argument img res. Now call the second method, this dot set image dname, set dname and pass the argument dname. Now call the third method, set fname and pass the argument fname. Okay, so this class will act as a data provider. Now we have to create an adapter for the recycler view. So right click the package and create a new Java class. Name it as recycler adapter and click OK. Extends recycler view dot adapter, and here you need to implement some methods. You need to implement these three methods and click OK. Okay, here we have to add some view holder class. So add a new class, public static class. I name it as recycler view holder and extends RecyclerView dot view holder. Okay, now add some constructor for this class. So public RecyclerView holder, and for this constructor add an argument. It's an object of view. Okay, now there is no default constructor for this view holder class, so you have to call the super method and pass the view argument. Okay, so here I'm going to declare some variables. First one is we need an object of ImageView. I name it as simply ImageView. Now we need some object for TextView. First one is fname. Second one is dname. Okay. Now we have to initialize these variables using this view argument. So first one is ImageView equal to view dot find view by id or dot id dot. That particular id is img. Okay. Now typecast this one into corresponding class ImageView. Now find the text views. First one is fname equal to view dot find view by id or dot id dot fname. That is the id for the text view. And here we have to typecast this one into text view. Now the last one is dname equal to view dot find view by id r dot id dot dname. Okay, also typecast this one into text view corresponding class. Yeah, okay. Now here we need some constructor for this class. Before that we have to declare some variables. Here I declare an array list, private array list, that handle an object of the data provider. Okay, so here the type is data provider and name it as array list and initialize that particular array list, new array list, and here it handle object of data provider. Okay, now we have to add some constructor for this recycler adapter class. So add a constructor public recycler adapter. Okay, with some arguments. It's an array list that handle the data provider objects. Name it as array list. Now initialize that particular variable called array list. So this dot array list equal to array list. Okay, now from the get item count method you have to return the number of rows. That means the size of this array list. So here we have to return the size of the array list dot size. Call this method simply size. Okay, now we have to inflate the layout. So inside the view holder, here first create an object of layout inflate. We have to inflate that one, so create an object of view equal to layout manager layout inflator dot from parent dot get context dot inflate. Specify the layout for the row or dot layout dot item layout. Now the second argument is parent and last one is a boolean. I pass false for it. Okay, now we have to create an object of that particular view holder class. That class name is RecyclerView holder. So here you have to create an object of RecyclerView holder. Name it as RecyclerView holder equal to new RecyclerView holder and pass the view argument. And here you need to add some generic for this class. It is an object of RecyclerView holder. So recycler adapter dot recycler view holder. And here the return type of this onCreateViewHolder method is an object of RecyclerViewHolder. And here for this method onBindViewHolder, here the first argument is an object of RecyclerViewHolder. Okay. So from here you have to return the object of the RecyclerViewHolder. So return that particular object. Okay. And from this method onBindViewHolder method you can assign the resources for the view components. So first we have to assign the view components. We have to assign resources for the view components. So first we have to create an object of data provider here. We have to get each object from data provider. I name it as data provider equal to, and we have to get each data provider object from the array list. So array list dot get and use the position argument. This will get each object from the data provider. And now we have to call each of the getter method from the data provider class. So first we have to assign the image resources. So holder dot, first one is ImageView dot set image resource data provider dot get imgres. Now second one is the film name. So holder dot set holder dot fname film name dot set text data provider dot get fname. Now dname dot set text data provider dot get dname. Okay, now we finish the coding inside RecyclerAdapter.java class. Now go to the main activity.java. Here we have to declare some variables. First here I need some variable for RecyclerView. I name it as RecyclerView. Now we need some adapter for the RecyclerView. So RecyclerView.adapter. I name it as adapter. Now we need some layout manager for the RecyclerView. So RecyclerView dot layout manager. I name it as layout manager. Okay. First we have to initialize these variables. First one is we need to initialize the RecyclerView variable equal to findView by id r.id dot RecyclerView and typecast this one into RecyclerView. Okay, now we have to initialize the adapter. Before that we need to add some other variables. We need some string array. I name it as fname film name and another string array called dname director names. Okay, and we need some other integer. Okay, before it, so now we have to initialize these variables. So we already saved some data inside the strings.xml with the two string array. First one with the name film names, second one director names called director names. Okay, go to main activity. First we have to initialize these two string arrays. First one is fname equal to get resources dot get string array r dot array dot film names. Okay, so now we fetch the entire data from the strings.xml file. Now the second one dname equal to get resources dot get string array r dot array dot director names. Okay, now we have to create another integer array for representing the image resource id. We have all the images are available inside the drawable folder. Now we have to create an integer array that represents all these image resources. So create another integer array img resources res. Okay, here we have to initialize all that particular image resources. Okay, here I initialize the img integer array with all the resource names, image resources available inside the drawable folder. Okay, now I declare some variables here. Int I equal to 0, and here declare some array list that handle the object of data provider. So data provider, name it as array list equal to new array list. Okay, now here we have to add all this information as an object to the data provider class. For that, here I declare some for each loop, add some for each loop, string name, it is string name, and get that particular name from the string array, that means f name. Okay, now we have to create an object of data provider, name it as data provider equal to new data provider, and now we have to pass each of these information. So first one is image resources. Inside the data provider there is a constructor with argument image resources, fname and dname. Okay, now go to main activity. So first we have to pass the image resources id. So all the image resources IDs are available in this variable called imgres. So imgres of I, that means 0 index. Okay, now the second one is fname, that is already available within this variable called the name. So simply pass that variable. And the last one is dname. So dname of I. Okay, and now we have to add each of these objects into the array list. So array list dot add, and add this object data provider. Okay, and finally we have to increment the value of I by 1. So now from this for each loop we add all this information, each row of data as an object to the data provider, and all the data provider objects are now available within this array list. Okay, now we can initialize our adapter for RecyclerView. So adapter equal to new recycler adapter. So inside recycler adapter there is another constructor that need an array list that contain object of data provider. Okay, so for this constructor we have to pass that particular array list that contain all the data provider object. Okay, now we have to add some attribute for the recycler view. So recycler view dot set has fixed set sizes into true. This will improve the performance. Now we have to initialize the layout manager. Here we already defined some layout manager variable called the layout manager. So layout manager equal to new linear layout manager, and pass some context, pass this. Okay, now we have to assign this layout manager to the recycler view. So recycler view dot set layout manager, and pass that layout manager. Finally we have to add the adapter for the recycler view. So recycler view dot set adapter, and our adapter name is adapter. Okay, now we finish the coding. Now we can test this application. Okay, now we can run this application. Select a virtual device and open that virtual device. Okay, now here the application available on this virtual device, and here is the recycler view. Okay, so you can scroll down and there is no scroll bar, so you can add a scroll bar here. For here there is no scroll bar for the recycler view. So here I am going to add a scroll bar for this recycler view. Scroll bars into vertical. Okay, run the application again. Select the same virtual device. Okay, now here we have a scroll bar is also available. I hope you understand the concepts. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.